I think a lot of us can relate to bitches gotta eat and use a lot of hyperbole. I don't even know how to say it. I am Samantha Irby. Samantha Irby is me. It's freaking hilarious.
Making money like a mint, laying in my ice like shrimp.
Hey, it's Diane, and welcome to the Cultivate with Courage YouTube channel. Before we get started in today's video, make sure that you have subscribed and turn on bell notifications so that way you can get updates anytime I share new information with you. So I want to make a quick shout out to a woman-owned business, and it is Rosie and B. So Rosie and B Leathers at gmail.com. They're also at Rosie B, ROSIEBEE Leathers on Facebook and on Instagram. They have the cutest earrings, all custom made. It's a woman-owned business. I always support my women, their side hustles. Loving the feel and the vibes that I'm getting today, so wanted to call out them for their fashion and their style. So check them out and support small business owners. So today we're going to talk about a great read, and I'm not even gonna say read, it has to be listen. So we're gonna do another book review, and it is going to be on a book that just was so unexpected. It is Wow, No Thank You by Samantha Irby. So I actually picked this book up because it kept coming up on my recommended section in Audible, but it absolutely did not appeal to me based on the title or the cover. But anyways, I picked this book up, I gave it a listen, and I belly laughed so hard. Like, I'm borderline Mariah Carey obsessed with Samantha Irby. And this is a book that I have purchased for my sister, and I will not stop ranting and raving and recommending to every woman that I know because it is so freaking relatable. And I personally feel like Samantha Irby is me. I am Samantha Irby. Samantha Irby is me. She is not, though. She is a black lesbian. She is an author, and she's fucking hilarious. Her sense of humor is self-deprecating, but at the same time so raw and so authentic. But I finished this book in a couple of hours, and then I immediately went and bought her two other books, Meaty and We're Never Meeting in Real Life. Recommend all of those, but start with Wow, No Thank You. It's her most current book, and it's a book compiled of essays. A couple of things about Samantha Irby as an author. She was born in Chicago to some really old parents, and I'm not being rude, like you'll hear this point in her story, but she talks about what it's like growing up basically on welfare and being poor. And this point in her life, in her book, she's actually just moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan with her wife. Her interactions in, you know, a small blue town in a big red state, and that blatant racism that she's kind of had to deal with. But everything is so real and so like raw. I just like gulp it up. So a couple things that I personally related to and why I love her story so much is I, like Samantha, have suffered from explosive diarrhea. And it is not funny, like, no, it is not cute. It's actually pretty traumatic. So I totally relate to the trauma that comes from a shitty bowel movement, whatever. It's totally been a major part of her life throughout her adult life, and she shares that openly, and honestly, it's freaking hilarious. Or one of the other essays that she wrote about was mid to late 1900s time capsule. Samantha Irby, like myself, are lovers of music. I really enjoy music. I cannot sing, but I really enjoy music. And in an entire essay, she talks about in the 90s, right, the late 90s, the way you expressed your interest in someone, or if you wanted them to be interested in you, the big thing was recorded mixtapes. And so she goes through like what her recorded mixtape songs are, and I totally had one of those mixtapes, from the Cranberries to Alanis Morissette to Mary J. Blige, all these, like, so nostalgia. It's like going back to high school. She also, shares in her essay around just that period that I think a lot of us can relate to, at least where I come from, where you totally are just want to be grunge, and it's totally cool to be grunge. And so we're all kind of inner channeling our, most grungy self, and wearing these Doc Marten boots and kind of brooding around and life's so complicated and, all this stuff. And it just was so funny, and it really did cause me to laugh at myself, my younger self. Now, Samantha Irby is also a author of a blog, and the blog is called Bitches Gotta Eat. Why do I love that title so much? I don't know. But to share with you where the title of the blog, Bitches Gotta Eat, comes from is the movie Boys in the Hood. So, there's the whole conversation of letting the women eat first. I think you would absolutely love it. It is hilarious. She also is very open and honest about a lot of bad sex, a lot of bad relationship, about being basically poor and just, kind of barely making it through life with all of those hustling skills. This book is just so fun. The humor is just my style. Her voice, I love her voice. That's why I recommend it on Audible, because she is narrator of it, and I'm very particular about a narrator. I would love to meet Samantha Irby, but she is really famous now and is not returning my DMs in Instagram. So if any of you know her, let her know that we are definitely calling her out and giving her some love on this channel. I highly recommend this. It is funny. It's gonna cover every topic that you can think of. She is, considers herself to be a high-functioning, depressed, and anxious person. She actually dedicates this book to Wellbutrin. So I absolutely love a good book, a good fun book. I've listened to this book at least 4 times, along with her others. Like, that's how good it is, and that's how borderline obsessed I am. So with that said, make sure that you check the details in the description on how to win your copy of Wow No Thank You by Samantha Irby. Paperback, Audible, Kindle, whatever your preference is, you will not regret it. It is hilarious. It is absolutely something that is a quick and easy listen and will have you laughing your socks off. So I hope that you've enjoyed this review. It's funny. There's lots of music and real life going on in here, and maybe just one day we will have the opportunity to meet in real life, regardless of her second book, which was probably dedicated to me in advance, that says we are never meeting in real life. I hope that you take some time this week, that you enjoy yourself, that you have a good laugh, that you embrace yourself, spend some time getting to know yourself and accepting the wonderful person that you are. I'm sending you all of my love and inspiration to cultivate with courage.